This show contains views and opinions that may not be suitable for certain audiences. Listener discretion is strongly advised. A friendly reminder, Mary Jane edibles are not a substitute for actually paying your Lyft driver. Don't forget to tip your bartenders, you filthy fucking animals. And if you've got kinks, we've got links. Don't forget to subscribe, put on your seatbelt, and enjoy the ride.
Howdy, 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 everybody, and welcome to Thespian Talk. I am your host, Gomer the Ranting Thespian. With me this week is Michelle.
Hello.
And Scolipendra.
Hi.
So, yeah. We've got some stuff to talk about this week. I've probably been doing it subconsciously for the past several episodes, but I'm trying to make it a more conscious thing. Like, fewer things to talk about, but fill them up with more meat, and of course, wherever those conversations may go. Yeah. I also want to note that, also, if you haven't been noticing or anything, I've been trying to name episodes before we start recording, based on just like one or two of the stories that we're looking at, because of how I'm editing things now. It requires a little bit of change, and trust me, it's really easier to record through OBS when you already have your episode number and your title right up there on the card. So you don't have to you don't have to make any new files or anything. It's easier. But I'm calling this one Man Submissive, Woman Ripped. And you'll understand why that is later. Oh, and if you get the hidden second reference to that, good on you. You get a cookie. For those who don't, I'll wait till we get to that point in the show. But yeah, so Michelle, how have you been the past couple of weeks?
Most couple of weeks have been pretty good. My new sleep work routine is settling down, and I didn't actually even feel the need to nap today.
Awesome.
So I'm kind of like, napping's always an option, but yeah,
yeah.
I'm not saying I'm not feeling it now, but I'm doing okay at the moment. That being said, I did manage to prank my tooth the other day, so I have been having toothache for the last couple of days. So if I'm less verbose than normal, that's probably why.
Yeah. Oh God, I've had some toothaches somewhere in the past couple of weeks. It's hell.
Mm-hmm.
Very much.
It's
hell.
a sympathetic earache as well that gets me. It's like, like the whole side of your face just goes.
Yeah, just And truth be told, yeah, I do probably need to see a dentist, but have fun affording that.
Mm-hmm.
And I've mentioned this to my folks at one point, and they're like, well, we'll just try and get on Medicaid or something like that. And it's like, I can't do that because I live here, and they account for everybody's income, not just mine. So yeah. So basically, living with the mayor, it kind of fucks me over in certain departments. But that's a whole spiel for another time. Scully, how have you been?
I've been alright. There's been some kind of a clusterfuck involving my insurance. And then I came down with fucking swimmer's ear.
Ooh. Ouch.
Yeah. Yeah, it sucks. At least it's only in the ear I'm actually deaf in, so...
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh God, you oh Lordy, I'm trying to imagine how it would be to be like deaf in one ear, because I think like one side of my ear is kind of going more than the other side, like it's harder to hear on one side than the other, so not quite deaf yet. But there are a lot of times where like whatever headset I'm wearing will suddenly imbalance the audio, like it'll all come out of one side and it annoys the shit out of me. And I'm just trying to imagine that full time, and it's like, oh no, I'd go insane. So the fact that you're handling it well, holy shit, good for you, man.
Yeah, well, to be fair, I've been deaf in one ear since I was born, so it's all I've really ever known. So,
okay. Well,
yeah. Well, okay, basically, I have really great difficulty telling exactly which direction a sound is coming from.
Yeah.
So, it drives me fucking insane whenever I'm trying to find someone and I ask where they are and they say, I'm over here. Like, okay, that really doesn't help me out that much.
Yeah, it's like, where is here?
Yeah, also, like, as much as I really enjoy music, but I can't exactly enjoy it to the fullest because, like, see, if I have headphones on, I can only hear out of one speaker.
Mhm.
So basically, I have to like use mono mix.
Yeah, which and with some tracks, it just kind of takes the whole experience out of it too. That
Yep.
they're intending to go for, you know.
Hmm.
But it's like there's a song by Malice Miser that they start out with like this little synth thing or whatever in it, and it makes the impression like they do it in their live shows. So they have like the proscenium lights going up and around, meeting in the middle and coming back down with the music, and it's like, oh god. So, and that is honestly pretty awesome to hear in like stereo, and you need that stereo to be able to pull that off. But to somebody who cannot do that, that's probably just like, okay, cool beep. Why are we doing? That's that. Oh, so it's like,
Yeah, exactly.
so it's like, oh wow.
A good stereo example I like is Gasoline City by Elkie Brooks. There's like a thing where I think it's like a xylophone or something similar sounding, and it sounds like it's going around your head.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
yeah.
That's kind of neat.
Yeah. It's. I think it's kind of the same. I think you put into words what I was trying to describe with the Malice Miser example. It's like it's going around the head.
Yes.
Cool.
So yeah. Oh lordy. So yeah. I had another thing. Let me pull it up. Here we go. So yeah. If you've been noticing the past couple of weeks, the site's been kind of down because of the because WordPress doesn't believe in just rerouting back to like an original to the original thing that you signed up with when you signed up for WordPress over 10 years ago, that sort of thing. And so the site is just blocked because I haven't been able to do the website. God, what the fuck is it called? The domain registration. So they're like, well, hold on, I'll do it for you, but until then, nobody's going to be able to see your site. I was like, you not have a .wordpress.com thing you can send it to, you asshole? You're holding the entire site hostage because of it. And it's like, and it's been longer than I wanted to try and get it reset back up, but things and shit happens, sadly. Some of it is just me pure forgetting, but some of it is just stuff that's been out of my control too. So, but since I can't, I'll get back up, and I really do want to try looking into other places too, because this should not be happening. It's like, no, you have some sort of a backup, you have a way to back up on it. So like, what the fuck? So so I'm a little dissatisfied with WordPress. And I got a big reminder just a couple of nights ago during What the Fuck Is Wrong With You, because one of the things I do pay for is like advertising for the site on What the Fuck Is Wrong With You, and it's kind of embarrassing. Nash goes to call out the site and he's like, oh, it's down. Fuck. So like, yeah, that's fun. But I think from here on out I'm going to give Nash some backups just in case something like this happens again. Oh boy, but yeah. So yeah. Speaking of ripped women, as I brought up with the episode title, Michelle shared a thing in our green room this weekend. Oh lordy.
Are we actually doing it now then? I thought this might be something to save for the end.
We're gonna do this now because there are some heavier stuff that we're gonna get into later on. And I will do my best to remember to put up some kind of content warning somewhere. If or at the very least, content warning and a timestamp when I get to the editing room.
Okay.
I'll try and remember that because oh boy, does it get heavy. Oh.
That's what I meant. Have a fluffy thing at the. I'll look for a fluffy thing at the end afterwards. Then.
Yeah. So yeah. So this was something she found on on a Facebook group called Everyday Sexism Project Denmark. And
Actually, it was a rethread from wait, that's wholesome.
okay, that's right. Okay, right. I just have the screen cap.
No, that's fine.
No, well,
that's fine.
Yeah, I'm just explaining to the audience that's where it's like, oh yeah. So it was shared through that wholesome group again.
Yeah, it's just wait. This is wholesome.
Okay.
That's just what they're called.
Okay.
And they got some really sweet stuff on there.
Okay. So this is a series of screen cap tweets, all starting from this one tweet from Richard Cooper, apparently posted October 16th of last year. So it's a little far back, but hey, that's fine. And I'm guessing the original screen capper was from Germany. I'm just guessing. I could be totally wrong, but that's okay. It's all in English, so we're fine.
Yeah.
You can read it. So, Richard Cooper, at Rich_Cooper, don't go harassing him, says, "Why do women train for ripped abs? It's because they want to look like men. Truthfully, it's gross. Lips, tits, and hips. Men are simple. We want the classic beauty of a feminine hourglass shape. At no time in history did men ever want women with ripped abs. May I introduce to you Sakura Ogami from Danganronpa? Plenty of men want her. They want to be crushed by her. And even though she is not necessarily my type in a sexual sense, she can probably beat the shit out of me and make me like it." So, yeah. There are plenty of men who want somebody like her. And before you ask any kind of weird questions like that, she is 18 minimum, so she is legal.
Mm-hmm.
So we will give you that, But that's not the only thing here, because people decided, of course, we're on Twitter, we're on public social medias and everything, and while it's not as full of freedom of speech as, say, a government-sponsored forum, Twitter is pretty fast and loose with the freedom of speech. That's why they have a Nazi problem. That sort of thing. Same with Facebook, same with TikTok, same with all these other platforms. But hey. So this first response comes from James Fell. "Hi, historian here. I'm comfortable in saying that at no time in history women have ever wanted you." Oh. And this,
I'll take the next one.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Maria D. Stedlerod, at Maria.
Yeah.
It's a lot of initials afterwards. Maria CDS. "As an archaeologist, I concur and feel comfortable adding prehistory to this."
Oh.
You want to play, Scully?
English creative writing major here. Okay, Aaron Weigert at Aaron Weigert says, "English creative writing major here. There isn't a believable character in the literary universe who wants you either. Any editor worthy of a job would call BS even the most desperate fictional women interested in you."
Oh, shit. You know what? I think...
A body has been discovered!
Damn!
Hell yeah.
And this guy, Michael Merfield also responded, clapped back with, "Hi, astronomer here, willing to go out on a limb and expand your assertion to the whole of space as well as time." Ooh.
Oh, yeah.
And this other guy, Ron Castellanos, I'm assuming Hispanic. "Hi, billing analyst here. Not even during COVID-19 times women want half of a man like you, not even to pay her bill." Damn! This next one's
Rashid.
from...
Yep. Amber Rashid at Amber Rashid 17. "A dentist woman here, and I asked many women. They would rather have a root canal and extraction without anesthesia than date you." Embarrassed face.
Oh, lordy.
Oh, got another lady. At Cornell University, they have an incredible piece of scientific equipment known as the tunneling electron microscope. This microscope is so powerful that by firing electrons, you can actually see images of the atom, the infinitesimally minute building blocks of our universe. Richard, if I were using that microscope right now, I still wouldn't be able to locate any women's interest in you. And that was Catherine, and I can't read her app.
Yeah. Oh. And apparently this got onto another Facebook post as well, because this was, yeah, make sure I got that right. Yeah. Just making sure I got it. Yeah. Okay, so this Megan Lindo says, I'm an archaeologist and my team has spent countless hours digging down to the center of the earth, searching for who even asked you. Scully, you want to take the next one?
Yep. Donna Penn says, woman here, there's a reason Dick is short for Richard.
Jeebus. Programmer here, and I'm fairly certain no artificial sentient, spelled with an S, but I'll allow it, intelligence would want anything to do with Richard Cooper either. From Einar Rasmussen?
Rasmussen?
Yeah.
Rasmussen.
That'll be the one.
Yeah, there you go. From this Eric Lumiere. Hi, publisher here. I can confirm that not even fictional women would even want to be in the same room as this dude.
Kieran August, mental health clinician here. I would like to point out that Richard is in the DSM-5 under douchebag.
Botanist here. I can also assert that the plant kingdom has no desire to interact with Richard Cooper either. He just walks everywhere and plants die.
Yeah, pretty much.
And this is the last one, and I claimed it before we even started this game.
Yes.
From Clark Oliver at TK9582. Hi, firefighter here. In my 35 years of the fire service, I have never seen burns this severe before.
Did it once, I'll do it again.
A body has been discovered.
And interestingly enough, it's like I've noticed sometimes like just in my own like Twitter circles and everything, somebody will make a really good burn, and at some point Rosen will see it, and he will put a screen cap of one of the body discovery announcements from Danganronpa right up there, just boom. I'm just like, oh god. So that is excellent. Excellent. Dick don't feel so good now, do he? Oh, just wow.
I mean, if you wanted to dive, and I guess, Gomer, you can put the link up if people are interested. There are more in each individual comment under the thing, so, but, we're just stuck with the thread.
Yeah. It's just, oh, lordy. But yeah, just... Oh, and on a random note, guys, I just happen to be looking at Tumblr at the moment. Somebody has noted that Betty White is so old. She starred on a 7-season TV show about being old that went off the air before most of you were born. I think I was definitely alive when Golden Girls was originally on the air. But it's like, wow. That is something to take back and remember. Like, oh shit! Like she's.
Hey Google, when did Golden Girls finish?
The Golden Girls' final episode date is the 9th of May, 1992.
92.
Yeah.
Okay, so I was alive for that technically.
Yeah. but you were a little better.
Damn.
Yes.
Yeah, I think Becky was. Yeah, she was definitely a toddler, coming up on toddler age at that point. Oh. Meanwhile, I was 9 years old when it went off the air. Wow.
Nice.
I was a teen.
Yeah.
But that's because I'm old. unless everyone ever comes back, I'm still the oldest person here.
There you go.
Yeah.
Trouble is with his new, even if he wanted to come back, even for like a guest appearance, his current work schedule basically means he's in bed now.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, dude's working like overnights, I think. Just
yeah.
I've worked overnight shifts before. They're not fun. They're mostly boring. Honestly, they're mostly boring.
Yeah. Or he
Just-
gets dickhole parties that just won't shut up, or just being really annoying guests and stuff. He works at a hotel.
yeah.
Was unaware, so
Yeah, and
yeah, he gets all that fun.
Yeah, and mine was actually at a convenience store, and it's like, ugh. and despite the fact that this
Yeah.
convenience store, 24 hours near an interstate, of course, late at night you don't get nearly as much. So thank goodness I had a Game Boy. And that's how I developed a love for speedrunning. I like watching them more than doing most of them, but you know, they're still fun.
Yeah.
Uh,
I watched some ones like obviously Breath of the Wild has like a lot of cool glitches that people can take advantage of, and like and sometimes you think, oh okay, that looks like something I could try and do myself, like the shield skewing and that way to jump through walls and stuff.
yeah.
But then you see other ones like they've did you hear about these like impossible chests? Like they put them on the map but then forgot to lift them into the world. So
Oops.
you'll get the radar that will ping for them, but then you can't find them. There's this one dude, I think he found the last one, and it's like it took him about half an hour. Like I don't know how long it took him to discover the process, but the full process, like at least to my mind, like about 2 hours. He has to go do this and then line this up and then have this medal here and then do this, then dive under the world and keep diving under the world, then jump back up again so you don't go completely off the map, and then do this and then this. I think it was like a 50 rupee that you win. It's
Wow.
like ridiculous process.
50 rupees, wow. Oh.
I mean, so stuff like that I probably never would bother with. But, you know, some of the stuff you look at and go, oh, that's so fun.
Yeah. So for the record, I want to put this out there because I'm looking at speedrun.com right now and I'm looking at the leaderboards for Breath of the Wild. And
Yeah.
for any percent, meaning, you know, you pretty much as soon as you get your Sheikah Slate powers and everything, you go straight to Ganon. You know,
I think it's like ridiculous, like 25 minutes, isn't it?
Yeah, 25 and a half minutes.
Wow.
That is the record. So
I watch a lot of Point Crow. So
yeah, 25 and a half minutes, and it was it was submitted and put up a month ago as of this recording. People still running it because I'm seeing things like, you know, there's a month ago, one 3 months ago, one a week ago, that sort of thing, one 5 days ago.
yeah.
Then you have an all dungeons category, which you could either do original or extended, which I believe extended is also the DLC stuff.
DLCs, yeah.
Yeah. So for the original, it's just a little over an hour and a half for just all the dungeons. All main quests the fastest runs up to about 2.5 hours. All right.
Yep.
All the shrines, all 120 plus of them. For just the original, no restrictions. It's just under 5 hours. And if there are restrictions, I guess no glitches or what have you, then it's close to 6.5 hours for all all the main 120. And apparently there are no runs for there aren't any runs for the restricted version of getting all the shrines, including the DLC ones. But without restrictions, it pushes it up to about 6.5, a little bit close to 6 hours 40 minutes. And that's without restrictions. Now, 100%. This includes all the Korok seeds, which, by the way, there are 900 of them.
Yeah, I still haven't found all of them.
Yeah,
But then again, most of the ones I haven't found are in the castle, so...
Yeah, I'm not worried about finding all of them. But if you want to do this, the original without the DLC, then the time to beat is 17 hours, 35 minutes, 16 seconds. They do allow for breaks. You don't have to do that all in one go, thankfully, but...
Yeah.
But just, wow. Now, if you want to add the DLC into it, 21 hours, 53 minutes, 13 seconds, and 1 millisecond.
Gotta have that millisecond in there.
Yep. I mean, with some of these runs, it does come down to the milliseconds, even.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I watch speedruns sometimes.
Yeah.
It's insane, some of them.
I know, and you can get really involved in them as well, especially when they're doing a few dry runs to like pace it out and work out what they've got to do, and then go for the targets. It's like, come on, you can do it, you can do it.
Yeah, like there's a speedrunner I follow named Arcus, and as of right now, I think he still is. Of course, I don't have that bookmarked. But he is currently the top. He is the first place for the original Ninja Gaiden on the NES speedrun at 11:38. He just recently got a personal best on Ninja Gaiden 2, which is what he's been running for the past half a year. He just got up to second place with a time of 9 minutes, 59 seconds, and 283 milliseconds. Barely beating out the third place by, probably maybe a couple of frames. Maybe. So it's like, because the third place is 959.6567. And it's like, oh shit. So Arcus is doing good. I think he's taking a break from Ninja Gaiden 2 for a little bit, because his goal was just to get under 10 minutes, which he's done. And he is less than 4 seconds away from world record. The world record is by a Japanese player named Beko, who beat the game in 9:55.900. So there's a lot of room in there. In fact, even Super Mario Brothers, like the fastest way to do it, the fastest time right now is 4:54.948. So by a guy named Niftsky, who it's like, damn, he does a good job, and he does a little less conventional one. Because his is emulated, which is allowed, but he also does it on a keyboard. So I was like, okay, yeah. And he plays it fair. He plays within the constructs of the category. You can't do like left and right at the same time. In fact, you can even set up an emulator to where the emulator won't even allow it. So that's all well and fine. But it's just been the top 10. They go down by a series of milliseconds. Like, it's like every one is like, it's basically like a frame each. Except for Cosmic and Lakukis, because they're exactly tied.
Nice.
But just one of my favorite ones Crow did was again, I mostly watch his videos because I found a couple and I watched them and I found him to be quite enjoyable, but I figured if I start watching more speedrunners then I'd never get anything done.
Yeah.
So you pick a person, you stick with them, and I like the Breath of the Wild stuff anyway.
Yeah.
But there's one that's called the Butter the Dog Run, put butter on the dog. And basically you do the plateau, you get off as quick as you can, and then you go to, I think you have to go to Panther or like the closest place you can buy butter, and then find the closest dog and basically drop it on the dog's head. And that's the run.
That's absolutely a reference to that one video. Just look up Butter Dog.
There you go.
Yeah, possibly.
Butter dog.
Butter dog. Dog with the butter. Dog with the butter.
Now, for me personally, I am looking into running like the Blaster Master Zero games because they are so much fun. And I'm looking at a category under Blaster Master Zero for their Unlimited mode, which is basically New Game Plus. And to get the best ending, and in order to get the best ending in Blaster Master Zero, you basically have to 100% the main first 8 areas. And then you get to go to the last area and you do all that. So that's basically what you have to do. But in Unlimited mode, once you get to that final area, you can just go straight to the final boss. So you don't have to go get any other keys to open doors or anything, which is good.
Cool.
But the record on this is 1 hour 21 and 12 seconds, which is good. It's respectable. I'm going to try and do this. I'm going to try and set some time aside to like stream it and grind it a little bit, because I think I can manage to get under that. And this particular record was set about 4 years ago. And within those 4 years, they went and patched out a thing that this guy did in his run, where you could like out of bounds through a wall and use that as a bit of a shortcut. I'm usually not an out of bounds guy, so I probably wouldn't be doing it anyway. So
Stuff like that out of bounds stuff creeps me out.
It's neat to look at, but I don't feel confident enough to be able to pull it off myself.
Yeah.
So it's just I don't bother with it.
Mm.
But I did notice like a couple of spots in his run where it's like, okay, that could be done a little bit better. You could have taken this path instead of the longer path, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
I did do a practice run the other night, and I ended up taking a death. It's like, that's going to cost a few. Especially since last point it auto-saved was at the level gate, which was a screen behind. Oh. So yeah, not a good thing. But, I mean, I think I can at least match it, if not beat it. Even with all the patches that took out the out-of-bounds stuff. So
Cool.
I think I could. But,
I can never do a speed run. I like exploring too much.
Yeah. Well, when I first go through, of course, you explore first, obviously. And
Also, I get frustrated too easily. I'd probably be fun to watch, but I don't think I'd actually get very far. I'd be like, done.
yeah. I mean, and with the recent release of Blaster Master 03, there's already the Blaster Master speedrunning community already working out the best ways to run it. Just because I'm looking at their Discord right now, and it's like, oh shit, they're these are not just runners, but these are also fans of the series too. So it's like, oh shit, this is some pretty cool shit right here. So is the community that's been built up around speedrun.com for the Blaster Master community, they're honestly a bunch of cool people. I don't think any of them ever listen to the show, but if they do, hi. They know me like saying one or two things in the Discord. I mostly just lurk, which is kind of my MO. Anybody who's any mutual service of mine know this. But with that, we're going to go ahead and take our break. Go ahead.
Just very, very quick. I'm working through, I was just going through the dialogue on The Simpsons. They're basically doing Into the Simpsonverse thing.
Yeah.
And a new character's just been introduced, which is a female fantasy princess, Homer.
Oh.
And Homer's talking to his other alt, which is like Noir Homer.
Mm-hmm.
And he's saying, "Oh no, wait! I know what this. It's a fantasy world. I know what's coming next. It's terrible." And Noir's like, "What? Like some kind of magical fantasy tech?" And Homer's like, "Worse, a musical number."
Oh lordy. So yeah. With that, we will go ahead and take our break, and we'll be right back. Hey folks, we'll get back to the show in a moment, but first I want to tell you about Patreon. Patreon is what I use to get around all of the YouTube adpocalypse bullshit, and while I don't have a lot right now, every little bit does help. And if you like what you hear or what you see on any of my videos or podcasts, head on over there. For as little as $1 a month, you can get all of these things early before anybody else does, and you can get them completely ad-free. Yeah, I know YouTube right now is technically ad-free, but at some point, I'm probably going to get big enough to where ads will start coming in, and those can be annoying, so you want to avoid that, right? If you go ahead and go now over to patreon.com/Gomer21XX, leave $1, $5, doesn't matter how much, you can get all of these. Again, you can get them early, and you get them without ads, even when I reach the point on YouTube to where ads can be put on these videos. So it's a win-win. And you can even avoid the ads that go up on the Anchor versions that go out to all of the other websites that are out there. No ads. It's great. So that's patreon.com/Gomer21XX.
And now, an important message from Tyler Green, Kitty Quinn, and Randy Martin.
Are you tired of asking yourself if that obscure show or movie you watched once was a fever dream?
Is it still in your brain to this day as a 3 a.m. channel-changing hallucination? Well, join us as we yank that said memory out of your subconscious while we do a deep dive on it on Channel KRT.
Channel KRT is a new bi-weekly podcast where we look at the best and worst of obscure media. We'll be covering such topics as
The Puzzle Place,
Clown TV,
Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, the TV show,
Reanimated,
The Weird Al Show,
We Sing,
and more. Join us every other week over at Spotify, YouTube, Anchor, and wherever podcasts can be heard. Channel KRT, cut to static.
Hey y'all, want to watch some anime? I haven't seen this one.
Oh, good idea. I've been meaning to watch this one.
Hey, can we watch this one? I was distracted.
Ignoring how easily Gomer is distracted by booty, how about this one?
Alright. How about this? Let's just pick one and watch one episode a week. We can even talk about it on a podcast. It's random, it's anime. What should we call it?
Randome. Check out Randome. Recorded every week at twitchtv.com/rosenthorn.
twitchtv.com.
Oh, good lord.
This is all staying in.
Howdy, everybody, and welcome to this little segment that I like to do in the middle of the show. Just gonna get right into it. So within the past week, I've noticed that there is a video out there by Rachel Oates who talks about Keemstar dating a 20-year-old now, which in and of itself, divorced from anything else about the man. Because if you know Keemstar, you know his reputation. He does not have an exactly stellar reputation out there. I mean, he is palling around with a known pedo, all right? That's kind of a thing, and it's like, that's enough to give most people pause, and very understandably so. But divorced from all that, the age gap, because he's 39, as of the time Rachel made the video, and his girlfriend is 20, which, again, in and of itself, divorced from anything else, there's not much of a problem with it. A little weird, maybe. But, Becky and we're 8 years apart, and we can find plenty of things in common. So extrapolating that out, admittedly, to over twice the age gap that she and I have, is not so much of a stretch, at least for me. Because, hell, my girlfriend immediately before her, we were 10 years apart. So, and you can find things in common no matter what. So yeah, you can find some, because I think in the video it mentioned that she likes Minecraft. Hey, I'm into Minecraft too. There's something we have in common. No problem. So that part itself is not the issue. The issue is Keemstar himself and how he talks about women, how he treats women, how he reacted when he found out that she was into Minecraft, because it's like, he acted like, oh my god, am I a cradle robber? It's like, dude, like, no. And the frustrating thing is, Keemstar does show some self-awareness in the whole situation, like, it's kind of weird, but I'm into it, And the whole setup is like, he met her at a fan event. She wasn't a fan of his, but her friend was, and it's like, it's all sorts of power imbalance-y weirdness and all of that. So that's where all of the big issues come into it for me, and I think for Becky too, because we had a major talk about this, and we have reaffirmed a few things about ourselves too. So yay. So, but I want to also toss the conversation to you guys as well, because anything else aside, if it's just an age difference, as long as it's legal to do so, what are your thoughts? Because I am legit curious. Like, if you're listening to this, just tag at me, like, on either the in the Thespian Talk Discord or whatever. Actually, that'd be the best place to do it. Just do it in the Discord. That link should be in the doobly-doo. And if it doesn't work for whatever reason, let me know like through Twitter or something, and I'll hook you up. But that link should still be working. It better be. That's all I gotta say. But yeah, so that's your homework this week, I guess. Age gap. How much is too much for you? Why is it too much for you? And I think we can all agree, Keemstar, he's a piece of shit anyway. Who nobody should be dating him. He should die. He should probably die alone in a basement or something. Not necessarily his mother's, but just die alone, I guess. Or at the very least in I don't know. Maybe I'm a little I could be a little bit too vindictive or whatever towards him, but you know what? Fuck him. He's done a lot worse. So piss off. But yeah. So yeah, age gap. How big is too big for you? Again, keep it as long as it's legal. You know, that sort of thing. There's obvious age gaps. Like if he was dating somebody who was 12, that would be an obvious wrong. But you know, that sort of thing. So yeah, I'm going to put this out there, and I hope to hear from you guys, either pro or con. So yeah, meanwhile, enjoy the rest of the show. And we are back from our break, and yeah, that got a little heavy there, I will admit. But you know, there are some things that's just, sometimes you want to get it out there, and you need it, and conversations do need to be had. You know, and if you skipped over it, I'm talking about age gaps in dating. You know, obviously, if it's like, you know, if it's too far, then like I said in the thing, if it's somebody like under 18 and you're 35, that's obviously not a good thing. But you know, but yeah, considering the person in question, I think it's a good we all side eye it. Just a little bit, but you know, but that's because of the person in question. It would probably go and be absolutely horrible to this other person that we're going to talk about, because Scully kind of reminded me about it before we started recording. Let's talk about Christine Weston Chandler, because oh boy, because for a little bit of history. As well as my brain can remember it, because I've never been much of a historian about her. You know, like I've seen her pop up in the news here and there. Well, definitely in the news now, but just pop up every now and then. Problematic as fuck in a lot of ways, but also at the same time, not necessarily, you know, pretty It's hard to be delicate about this, especially given her most recent actions, which, by the way, before we get too deep into it, this is going to be I'm going to try and remember to put some timestamps in the doobly-doo, and big fucking warning here, because we're going to be talking about shit like sexual assault. So I will try and remember to put the thing in the doobly-doo, like the timestamp, to where it'd be okay, you know, when we're beyond this topic. But yeah, it's just one of those things where it's like, some of these things just like gotta say something, and hopefully it's much, you know, different enough. Like, as I think a lot of people are going to agree with some of the things we say. Some of them aren't. So yeah, but yeah, sexual assault. Big sexual assault trigger warning there. Yeah. So, anyways, Christine Weston Chandler, Chris Chan, or CWC, is both problematic, but at the same time also a victim of a lot of internet hate mobs. Just because she has been so different over the years. She is a trans woman, even though, and I've seen people say, "Oh, she's just doing it because blah 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 blah," and then deliberately misgender her because they think that they think that she's only doing it for clout or attention or whatever. And if she is, who the fuck cares? It does not matter. If she wants to be known as a woman, you know, with she her pronouns, even if it's for attention, respect it. I don't give a shit. Okay?
Yeah.
Because, you know, she would do something else for attention. Or what have you. If that's what she wants. You know. Whatever, you know? And bear in mind, I'm saying this as a cis-het guy. You know, trans folks may have a different opinion than I do, and maybe they'll agree. I don't know. I can't speak for them. I can only speak for myself. So it's just, you know. But among the things that she is also known for is this little fan comic-y thing that's not the very, it's like a child's drawing comic. This is the best I can describe it. But it's called Sonichu, which is basically Sonic and Pikachu. Boom, Sonichu.
Yep.
And if I remember right, she like would self-insert herself into the comic, and the comic itself would get all just randomly sexualized at certain points. It's definitely not good in terms of quality from what little I've seen of it. And bear in mind, it's been years since I've even run across it. But it's like whatever, it's weird, and for whatever reason, people decided to just shit on her all over it. I mean, like more than necessary, like, and then she would eventually get to making videos and have tantrums on video, and she's had mental issues. I think ever since, I think just since forever, honestly. Like legit mental issues, not just somebody screaming and doing things for clout, and like legit shit. And she's been living with her parents. Her parents are old fucks. I don't even remember if her dad's still alive.
He's not.
Okay, thank you. But and people probably poked at her for that too, because of course they do. And I should also note that a lot of this stuff I am guessing at this point, and I'm probably correct, but a lot of the hate probably comes from places like 4chan.
Yeah,
because,
pretty much 4chan.
Yeah.
I can provide some background information.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, basically someone who lived in her general area spotted her, like, at, I guess, the university she was going to, posted about her on something awful, like, yeah, there's this weirdo who goes by Sonichu, and this is her website. Well, obviously they used male pronouns then, but yeah.
Yeah, I'm just looking at the wiki to get myself an overview, and they're constantly using he pronouns.
Yeah, it's like I've even had conversations with friends about the whole situation, and especially with the current situation, which we will get to. And they keep misgendering him because of the aforementioned thing. Like some people think that she's trans just for attention or what have you, and it's like literally nobody does that. No.
Also, I mean, with Chris, yes, she's okay with being called Chris.
Yeah. Because Chris is also short for Christine.
Yes.
Yep.
And well, basically, she does refer to herself, her pre-transition self, using male pronouns, and her dead name is a bit complicated. So I guess I know that the documentary does use male pronouns for her pre-transition self, but like switches to female pronouns post-transition. It's a bit complicated.
Yeah.
But yeah, like
similar issue when I'm discussing my ex, and like, so when I'm talking about her when we were dating, do I refer to them as he? Do I call them and then present tense she? It's like, yeah, so I can kind of understand that part.
Yeah. And I think it's one of those things where I think it's up to the individual, and it seems like Chris is like, yeah, before I transitioned, I was a he, I am now a she, and that is from what I'm seeing is valid for a person to do, because it's like it's their pronouns, they get to decide how they are referred to in any tense. So she's fine, like pre-transition, like before I transitioned, I was he, but I am now she. That's perfectly valid. For the sake of simplicity, I'll probably use her current pronouns when referring to her. But just that's and like I said, it's just for simplicity's sake, honestly, because we are talking about the same person, and we don't want and even with this explanation, you'll probably have some person be like, "Wait, what?" So just trying to cover asses here.
Yeah.
So you might also, like, I think there was like one video of her going around where she got upset at a GameStop because of the coloration of Sonic the Hedgehog's arms or something. There was that going around, which, yeah, that's stupid, but no need for the amount of vitriol.
Anybody.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, which is like, okay, yeah, that's a little shitty on her part, and yeah, it deserves a little bit of ribbing, but nowhere near like the vile, the I want to say vile, that she got for it. Nowhere near vitriol. That's what I'm thinking.
Yes, vitriol. Yeah, like, oh my god, some people. Okay, you want to know what this one asshole who's even more pathetic than Chris honestly said? Okay, he went by A-Log. For I guess that's his kind of short for his real name, but he said, and I shit you not, what Saddam Hussein did in Iraq is potatoes to what Chris has done.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, Chris has done some really heinous shit as of this recording. She legitimately has. Legit. But as far as I know, she never even had the kind of powers Hussein had.
Exactly. Like, God, I don't know if the dude was being hyperbolic and just failed at it, or if he... But given what else I know about this dude, he kinda was really insecure about himself and decided to pile so much vitriol onto Chris that, oh my god.
Yeah. So it's
and it really didn't help him because the people who harassed Chris also ended up harassing him. So if he wanted to avoid being harassed, he played himself.
Yeah. Oops.
Yeah.
But it's just, and I will also admit that probably back in the day I probably pointed to laughed a little bit here and there, or at the very least cringed. Back in the day, this was like 10 plus years ago. A lot of us back then have matured. We've moved on. I think Becky and I both have been guilty of it. So, we've both matured and we moved on. We're both like, yeah, we were kind of shitty back then.
Oh, yeah. Man, I remember laughing at, like, pretty much all the trolls. Like, because, oh my god, he got old. That's what I said back then.
Yeah.
But really, looking back at it, there was only one troll that wasn't, like, really mean-spirited. And that's that Liquid Chris dude who wanted to impersonate her, Liquid Chris just did his own thing, but then Chris Chan noticed, and it kind of spiraled into this really dumb rivalry. Like, no, Liquid is the imposter. I'm the real Chris. Like, it was kind of hilarious. Not gonna lie.
Yeah. I don't think I ever got into that one, but I'll take your word for it.
Yeah.
So yeah, that'll help bring us up to today, as of this recording, and I'll say it just again. Content warning is going to be very sexual assaulty up in here.
Yeah.
Because she raped her mom.
Yeah.
Oh, that person.
That person. She raped her mama. like there are other things that make it even worse. But at the end of the day, she raped her mom.
Yeah.
And her mom is... Yeah, her mom is also needing, like... frankly, from what I understand, she should be in a nursing home of some sort to get the best kind of care.
Yeah, she's... she's showing signs of dementia.
Yeah.
Which makes it, like, 10 times worse.
Yeah. So it's like... and I know somebody's going to point out, well, it's also incest. Yeah, but the incest takes a backseat to raping a dementia patient.
Yeah.
Like, incest is the least of these problems here, in comparison. Incest is still pretty ew, but,
Yeah.
Everything else aside, but, yeah, she raped her mother. Like, okay, you could be sympathetic up to a point, and in fairness, the only reason I would even call out Chris Chan or even go after her now, in a non, I guess this is probably the extent of it. The show is, is because of her actions. It's not because of her mental state. It's not because of how stable she may or may not be. It's not even because of, her silly little webcomic. It's because she literally raped her mother. That is when it's okay to say, hey, this person's a piece of shit.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's like, no. I have sympathy for you being trolled all the hell and back for being different because people are assholes. Yeah, fine. And even the stuff that she pulled that were just like, hey, that was a shitty thing to do. Like the whole GameStop Sonic thing. Okay, yeah, doesn't maybe a mention, maybe a haha, maybe like a, oh, that's just kind of weird, but whatever. Or oh god, you're embarrassing us type thing. Nothing to the vitriol that she got, to be clear. But this, on the other hand, fuck you, jail. Yeah, fuck you, prison. And she even, from what I understand, she even tried to talk over the judge and the lawyers and everybody at her hearing. And it's like, no, you don't do that.
Yeah, she's like, oh, I'm only comfortable if I get some stuff back from home. And yeah, from what I'm guessing, it's either she wants to get rid of evidence, or more likely she wants to bring her fucking Legos to jail.
Yeah, which the Legos to jail, which on the one hand, it's like, prison reform needs to happen anyway, because but at the same time, it's like, you raped your mother. You don't get to keep your Legos.
Exactly.
It's like, no. We can.
Well, the wiki. Sorry, the wiki did suggest that she was autistic, so I don't know if that would be.
Oh yeah, she's high functioning autistic.
Yeah, which that in and of itself is, I think, is becoming more and more of a problematic term. The high functioning part, because autism
That's the
is
term
autism.
she uses, though.
Okay. Yeah.
But I mean that was like I said, I only skimmed the article, barely.
Yeah.
But I thought, well, maybe that might be why she'd want her Lego with her, like, or some kind of stim comfort or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I understand that.
Yeah. Which again, to go back to the whole idea of prison reform, is like, with somebody like that, and they need something to kind of keep themselves sane, you should be able to provide that at the very least. Yeah, they are in prison because they did a really fucked up thing. Yes. And she does belong in prison for this. Agreed. But we also don't need to overly torture her as well.
Yeah.
Make sure she understands, this was fucked up. You need to pay the penalty for this. But we also don't need you going insane and this probably would be an extreme thing, but I see it as a possibility. We don't need you going insane and practically killing yourself over it. Just because the idea of prisons should be rehabilitation as well, not just punishment, but rehabilitation. So it's just, there are some cases where you're just too far gone, and I don't think Chris Chan is quite at that point, despite the fact she raped her mother.
Yeah, she needs really extensive psychiatric care.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we do need actual psychiatric care. We're not talking Scientology here.
Yeah. Her mind is so far gone that she believes she believes that her imaginary town of Quickville is real, and that she's married to Mewtwo or something.
That is a little weird.
Yeah. A lot of this was kind of, her mental state deteriorating was because of, a very heinous group of trolls, more heinous than the ones who, catfished her.
Yeah.
Even though that was pretty bad, too. No, these were, people gaslighting her. They called themselves the Idea Guys. They were gaslighting her.
Oh, lordy.
Yeah, it was bad. And extorting money from her.
Oh, god damn it. Well, no wonder she snapped. Yeah. Doesn't excuse the rape, but no wonder she snapped.
Yeah, and the recent troll, some Bella girl was basically, apparently she kind of groomed Chris into doing this. Doesn't excuse what she did, but yeah.
Wow.
groom someone into that?
It's complicated.
God.
I could link the Kiwi Farms thread, but I'd have to
Ooh.
link it via an archive.is website or something, or Internet Archive, because I don't want to give Kiwi Farms traffic.
Yeah, I don't blame you,
No,
because
it's
Kiwi
fine.
Farms is worse than Moss Isley.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I've had friends like link me to Kiwi Farms, not knowing any better, and I'm like, hey, you realize this is a worst hive of scum and villainy that puts Moss Isley to shame, right? Right? Okay, so you know.
God, they're bad.
Yeah, and Christian is far from their only target. Anybody who's been more associated with Channel Awesome in terms of, actually being definitely now former producer on there, knows what I'm talking about. It's like, Jeebus. It's like, if you're gonna, you shouldn't do it like that. You shouldn't do this. But if you're going to go after people like this, go after people who deserve it, like Donald Trump.
Yeah.
You shouldn't. But if you're going to, do it this way. So yeah. So all of that happened.
Oh,
just, God damn. And like what's already been stated, she does need the help, like actual proper psychiatric help,
yeah,
to get things sorted out, and I don't know, and just that's I'm going to throw it out there and just say that's likely what she needed this whole time. Not for a bunch of internet nobodies to bully her into breaking, mentally breaking down. No person to, as we understand it now. I think is it confirmed that she was groomed into raping her mother, or is it just speculation?
I don't know if it's confirmed, but there's very strong evidence that points to it.
Okay. So for safety's sake, I'll just keep it in speculation for right now. So the whole speculation of being groomed into raping her mother, that sort of thing, while her actions are her own, that doesn't let any of these other people off the hook. Because, bullying in any form, whether it's internet bullying, meat space bullying, whatever, it does have its effect on people. And I know, and I've stated it before in the past in terms of like internet bullying. Oh, you could just turn it off or whatever. And while that is true, the effects still stick around. So whether you have it on or off, it doesn't matter. And if they get your phone number for whatever reason, they can still text you. And if they have enough money, they can text you from a number of numbers, no matter how many you block. So, and you don't need to be particularly rich to do so either. So, because you can get burner phones relatively cheap. So, so it's just, so what do we do in order to stop the bullying? Again, just clarify for one last time before we, switch over to the bullying topic like we seem to we're about to. Christian, victim, yes, victim of extreme bullying, extreme hazing, but she's also a rapist. And she needs to serve her time, get the help she needs, and hopefully at the end of it all, she'll be a better person.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
I mean, in comparison,
Yeah.
Because it's like, and it would obviously be very understandable if nobody trusts her considering rape, but I would be happy if she doesn't get involved with something like that again. So, because I think that's the best you can hope for if somebody does something like that they pay their dues and they don't pull that shit again. You don't want them repeating. Probably the best you can hope for. Which leads into bullying, because goddamn, she is definitely a victim of bullying. Despite her crime, she is still there, and the way that people did, and I'll throw myself in on that one too, because I did my fair share, nowhere near as much vitriol as far as I can remember, but I did my share of pointing and laughing and all of that. and it was wrong. Like,
Oh yeah.
yeah, totally 100% wrong. It's one thing you put out something shitty and people laugh at like, that's kind of shitty or whatever, and then you move on, and it hurts a little bit when you're on the receiving end of it. But I would like to think that there would be enough people with good feedback, whether it's positive or negative, with good enough feedback to say, hey, here's how you can improve on this, whatever, and then you go on from that point. But regardless of how she may have reacted at first, yeah, even if she reacted like a total petulant adult child at first, then, yeah, that might be a little bit of tension. What we really should have done at that point was just say, hey, you know what, you're going to act like this, we're not going to engage. That should have been.
Yeah.
Not this constant stream of bullying for over 10 years. I assume constant. Considering sources, but yeah. That's not the way to go about it. So it's like, so yeah. And I'm going to keep stressing this. She is a criminal, but she is also a victim. Kind of like how a lot of criminals nowadays are seen too. Like you have a thief, right? Thief steals food because he can't afford it for his family. He technically, legal definition, he's a criminal. But he's also a victim of the system, not giving him enough money or a job or anything else to allow him to afford that food for his family. So that's the kind of thing there. I'm glad that Chris is in prison for rape. I am glad that the system is working for that. I hope that the system doesn't completely fuck her over and actually helps her get the help that she needs, which, given that it's the American prison system, I find that highly unlikely, but I could be proven wrong. I hope I am. I would just like to see her be better going on out, and very understandable if nobody trusts her, because, it's hard to trust somebody when you know good and well they've raped someone. It's hard to trust them, and understandably so. Very understandably so. So yeah. So yeah, I guess in short, fuck Chris Chan for raping her mom, but fuck all of these fucking internet bullies who drove her out of her fucking mind.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So yeah, just goddamn. Other shows I probably would have put Chris Chan up at the beginning, but this is one of those times where it's like, no, this is too heavy to put at the beginning. So it's like, let's work into it. Oh
yeah,
Lordy.
Yeah.
So yeah, oh lordy. So I am, so as a bit of a thing, I'm just kind of scrolling through. Oh, something that is kind of serious, but definitely on the lighter side, but definitely worth mentioning is I play Pokemon Go. I don't know. Do either of you two play it?
No.
Okay. So recently, Pokemon Go had like some quality of life additions that were put in place because of the pandemic, which, by the way, is still going on as of this podcast.
Yeah.
So yeah. So
do you want to get in your obligatory fuck Ron DeSantis now?
Yeah, fuck Ron DeSantis. Anyway.
I saw that heat map of infection from a month in the US. You've kind of gone from actually not too bad to fuck me, that's scary.
Yeah, and DeSantis is wanting to ban mask mandates in schools.
Yep.
It's like, yeah, no, fuck you. If you are a school superintendent that is listening to this, or have the ear of one, then I want you to encourage them to tell DeSantis to go shove it and put them in place anyway.
Yeah.
And if he doesn't like it, he can come find me. He can kiss my ass personally. I'll make sure I've had a lot of Taco Bell that day.
Oh,
yeah. Is that gross? Yes, it is. Does he deserve it? Fuck yeah. But anyway, back to Pokemon Go. Yes. So one of the things you could do is you could spend little Pokestops, you can get items or whatever, and of course there's a range. But during the initial part of the pandemic, they extended it. So so you don't have to go quite as far to hit a Pokestop, which is good for several reasons. One, if you're like me, you live and there's a Pokestop right behind your house. Where I'm sitting right now, it's not quite enough to reach it. I'd have to like go out to the back porch or the backyard or whatever, which, with as hot as it's been, it's not necessarily a good idea. But regardless, but with the extensions, I could hit it no problem. You know, but, you know, and of course there are some that's a little bit further in on property you probably don't need to be going on if you're not going to be, like if it's at a restaurant, you don't want to go in there just to spin the Pokestop and leave, what have you, that sort of thing. You know, all of that good shit. You know, so it's understandable. And of course there are people who just simply can't walk. And they have a similar situation to mine. There's a Pokestop right there. They can't really go anywhere for one reason or another. Boom, you can still spin it, and that's fine.
Yeah,
you can still play the game, get free items. And another one was like incense effectiveness too. Like you drop some incense, you can get Pokemon that come to you, and the effectiveness was upped during the same time period. Well, just recently, Niantic decided that the pandemic's over. Boom. Even though it's very demonstrably not.
Yep.
And people are pissed.
Yeah.
like the day this goes up is supposed to be the first day of another EV Community Day. We had one back in 2018, but that was before every evolution was in the game. So I can understand why they would want to do one now, because now they finally have Sylveon in. Which, by the way, all you shiny hunters, you might want to get on that. So that's going on, and all this, and even with like all the cool stuff going on, like there's even one I'm looking at from the Pokemon Go Twitter account. If you evolve an Umbreon during this time, it'll know Psychic, which it's not a bad move for it. So that's pretty cool. But it's overshadowed by the fact that they took away quality of life things that made it easier for people to play during a pandemic, which we are still in. Now, to their credit, they're they've got people looking into it. You know, they're not exactly Niantic. I don't think is a small company, or at the very least, it's more than like a 10 or 20 person team as far as I know. So they're not big like Nintendo, but you know they're not just a one man. There's not a one man horse and pony show either. So it's going to take some time. But, you know, at this point, people who still play Pokemon Go, we're just not going to put money into it. I'm not putting money into it. There's a PokeTuber that I follow, Zoe Two Dots. She's not putting money into it. And, you know, she's definitely one of the bigger voices in the community. And that's honestly one way to do it is just, you know, and some people just stop playing the game altogether. I stopped for a couple of days. And then I was like, you know what, I really want to keep shiny hunting. So, plus, again, if money is not being exchanged, then okay, fine, you know? Because the game is still there. The game is free no matter what. It's the microtransactions that you pay for. So the game is free, regardless. So even if you just download and play the game, Niantic's not getting your money for it. So that's all fine. And if you can earn in-game coins at like gyms or whatever, and you know, if you use those, I think Zoe Two Dots says she wasn't even going to use coins she earned in game to buy things, but I think if you earn them in game and all of that, that's still free. They're still not getting money for it. So, but you know, to each their own. You know,
yeah,
that's how she wants to do it. That's her thing. I don't have things in gyms often enough to really worry about it. So, but yeah, so yeah, to it's a bit of a lighter note to go out on, but it's also still an important issue to talk about. And not just Niantic, but just things in general. People trying to get people to go back into work. You know, like in-person work, even though pandemic is still going around. It's like, you guys, we still have a bunch of people who think the vaccines are going to give you autism, as though that is supposed to be a negative thing. Never mind the fact that they don't.
Yeah.
So it's like,
just as a thing, little bit point and laugh, little bit Schadenfreude. Did you hear about Mike Lindell's cyber conference thing?
I did not. What about his cyber conference thing?
Well, basically, it's a whole stop the steal conspiracy thing. Bullshit. The same old, same old. But he claimed to have 37 terabytes of evidence that China did it, and they broke into the systems that were never ever actually online during the voting process and changed all the information. And he hired some cyber guy, some actual cyber security experts and that. Yeah. And they basically turned around and said, "Yeah, no, there's nothing here. Yeah, there's nothing." And he this video of him saying, "Oh, well, you might have heard this, but I think they're a CIA." Dude, that's who you hired.
Yeah, how many terabytes did you say?
37. He said a mega pack or something, a big data dump. And he's been showing I haven't seen it for myself, but from what people are describing, sounds like a kind of Matrix style information going down, this is the giga dump, we just need to reinterpret it. And people said, no, it's just garbage, it's just it's just numbers and stuff to look flashy, but it doesn't look like anything what he's claiming it to be. So even his graphics are just So, but it was a steal,
So
everything was stolen.
37 terabytes. I just want to make sure I got that number right. Correct?
Yep, because I was watching the Damage Report earlier, and that's what they said a couple of times. So
okay, so on a whim, I decided, you know what? I went through and I looked at, I have a dedicated porn folder because of course I do. And I went and looked up how much stuff is in there, and there's quite a bit. Many hours of porn in there. Hours. Probably days. You know how much room that takes up on this hard drive?
Well, given the fact that the biggest hard drive I happen to have personally owned is only 2 terabytes.
Yeah. Well, the one this is on is a 6 terabyte, but... So,
yeah.
But the porn folder itself, with everything in there, not even a terabyte. And that's just what I have on hand. There's some on a backup server that I need to try and get off at some point. No pun intended. That would probably bump it up to maybe 2 terabytes total. Maybe. Oh, and it's I don't even... And he's saying 37 terabytes of evidence. It's dude, I don't even have that much porn. I don't even have that much material overall on my computer.
Yeah.
And that's with the external hard drives.
Yep.
So there's no way he's going to have 37 terabytes of evidence.
Nope.
Just, wow. Yeah.
And by all accounts, his pillows aren't even that comfortable.
Yeah. I guess that's why he calls it my pillow, because it's pillows that work for him. Oh! Oh. Yeah, so on that note, we're going to go ahead and get on out of here. Just remember, don't bully people. Don't be one of those weak assholes who doesn't want a strong woman. Just trust me, strong women are good women. And strength is not always necessarily ripped. Strength comes in all sizes. It really does. So
yep.
So yeah. And for those who don't get the title reference, I mentioned it at the beginning of the show. I'm going to mention it here. So the title of this episode is "Man Submissive, Woman Ripped." I made that as a play off of a song, version of which I first heard from Robert Palmer, called "Man Smart, Woman Smarter." So go look up that song. There's several covers of it, and it's an interesting song, to say the least. Although I do like the idea of people say men are the lead, running the show, but no, it's really women. Women are the ones doing it. So
on tune.
Yeah, goddamn right. And I should also note that the version that Palmer recorded was back in the 70s. So
yeah.
So give or take about that. Anyway. that's going to do it for this time. And Michelle, if we wanted to find you on social media, where could we find you?
You can find me via my link tree, link tr.ee Phoenix 11 PHEONIX11, and then you'll find my YouTube, where I recently got a new subscriber who wrote the comment in Spanish, and it basically translated to, "Hi, I want to learn English, and you're my teacher now." I'm like,
oh,
yay!
Hey, nothing wrong with that.
That's cute. No, it isn't. And I wrote back a message in Spanish, basically saying, hi, welcome, and thanks and all that.
Yeah.
But it's like, I have people who are native English speakers that sometimes have trouble understanding me. So it's like, oops. This should be fun.
Yeah. Hey, but you know what? If it works, it works.
Yeah. No, I mean, I took the compliment, but it was just like, okay, cool. That's a thing that's happened in my life now.
There you go.
And new subscribers are always fun. Sorry.
Yeah, definitely. Scully, how about you?
You can find me at linktr.ee/Scolipendra.
Sweet. And as for me, of course, I've got the Linktree, linktr.ee/Gomer21XX. You can find the Facebook fan page. You got the Twitters, the Tumblrs, the TikToks, which I recently just put out a new Danganronpa TikTok just a few days ago, which...
You kids and you tiki-tokis.
Which, honestly, they're kind of fun to do. And I'm kind of less on my own voice on some of those recently. Because, there are some other good shit that you could put to it that's out there.
Yeah.
But yeah, and I'm kind of happy. They're all hitting like 4-digit views, so I'm pretty happy.
Oh, that's cool. I'm just mocking because I don't do the TikTok thing.
Yeah, and as of, in fact, I can even look at my follower count right now. As of right now, I'm almost up to 1,500 followers. Holy shit! I mean, 1,500 people want to watch my stupid shit. Holy shit! But that's okay. I'm honestly happy for him.
That's a lot of people in your life. I mean, well done. Good going.
Yeah, definitely better numbers than I've had on YouTube.
Darn tootin'.
Yeah.
Nice.
Which they will. I am also, once I do like a 10th one of those Danganronpa things, I'm actually going to put them all, along with a couple of others that were either too long initially or what have you, put them all into one big compilation video and put them up on my YouTube channel. And already it's looking like it's going to be about 20 minutes long. So it's up there.
Speaking of compilations, the Bun Squad bloops have been out for a while now, and they're quite fun. And I found myself giggling at my outtakes more than some of the others, but I think it's because the animation, like the puppetry thing that Phil put with them, made me giggle.
Yeah. I mean, hell, one of my best TikTok videos is simply an outtake.
Yeah.
where it has become headcanon that Monokuma is originally from Chicago.
Ah, fair enough.
You need to stop. Am I from Chicago? But yeah, and of course, if you're here, I'm gonna try and pimp out this show a little bit more on TikTok as well. Maybe some bits here and there. I hope. Fingers crossed. And if you're here from TikTok, hi. How you doing?
Hello.
Please consider supporting me on Patreon. Because I could use all the money I can get. Because, well, honestly, we all could, to be fair.
Yeah. Yep.
So it's like, yeah. But until we smack the government enough to make everybody give us a $4,000 UBI, and yes, I do say 4,000 because that is going to be enough. 3,000 is barely covering it at this point, based on calculations. So, but anyway, that's not the point. Point is, thanks for listening. We will see you guys next time. And until then, this is Gomer, the Ranting Thespian, with Michelle and Scolipendra, signing off.
Bye-bye.
Later.